And we've got rounds of heavy downpours rolling through right at this hour. Few strong storms mixed in. We do still have an elevated flood threat, and there could be a few severe storms as well. Here's the good news if you're down around Fort Bend County, Brazoria County, area southwest of Houston. The National Weather Service actually canceled the flood watch, so we're not expecting widespread flooding, but we've got some very heavy rain rolling over parts of the area now, so still a few flooded streets are going to be a possibility, and we've still got that rain coming down across Houston, and we are expecting potentially a few more rounds as we go through the rest of the day into early tonight. What does the radar look like right now? Where you can see that big red line right over Houston. That is a line of heavy rain and a few strong storms, and it stretches from around Atascocita through eastern parts of Houston down to Pearland, all the way down to Angleton. So we've got some very heavy rain pushing through right now. You can see that drop in temperatures for Houston. We were about 10 degrees warmer about an hour or so ago, and now we're down to 67 degrees with that rain-cooled air now in place. So it's widespread 60s and 70s across the area, so we are a little cooler out there, but of course the main risk will continue to be this rain that will lead to potentially some flooding issues and also the threat for a few severe storms. I want to start off with the flood threat first because we do have now a flood advisory. This is an aerial flood advisory for eastern and central portions of Harris County, and this is going to be through 6:45 p.m. So we're only at about 4:02 right now, so we've still got a few more hours of this to go. A quick inch of rain has fallen for some areas in this flood advisory, including right around Galena Park, Pasadena, and right around Deer Park, right around a ½ inch to an inch of rain for you just over the last 1 or 2 hours. Here's the bad news. We've got another big batch of heavy rain rolling in behind the current round, so that is why we're thinking we could start to have a few flooded streets. Now, an aerial flood advisory is not a flash flood warning, so we're not expecting widespread life-threatening flash flooding, but an aerial flood advisory usually issued when there's the potential for a few flooded streets, and of course that can be dangerous as well. You always want to try to find a different way to go if you are in an area with some flooding, especially any of those flooded roads. So you can see the flood advisory there that covers eastern parts of Houston, and we do have the potential for more of those coming out over the next few hours. Flood watch has been shifted off to our east. It still includes Beaumont and Port Arthur, but it no longer includes any of our counties. So it doesn't include Fort Bend, Brazoria, or any of those other southwestern counties. But the flood threat is still very real out there with the heavy rain coming down. So I think the next 2 to 3 hours will likely be the worst of it. And then I think we will get some improvements right on time because you want to get out there and get your weekend started. And it looks like the weather will improve somewhat for that. Also want to let you know that we do have a tornado watch. So we're monitoring a flood risk and the risk for a few severe storms, but the tornado watch only includes 2 of our counties, and that's going to be up around Polk County and Liberty County through 7 p.m. this evening. So that means conditions are favorable for a few of these storms that could briefly develop some stronger rotation and produce a brief weak tornado, but we haven't seen that happening yet. But of course, we are closely monitoring the radar for any of that stronger rotation. So you can see the worst of the weather really stretching from the Livingston area through Liberty, through Houston, down to Pearland, Lake Jackson, and all the way back to around Port Lavaca. So I think once this main big line of rain and storms pushes through, there will be a little action behind it, but it's going to be a lot lighter, that rainfall intensity, and I think the threat for the strong to severe storms will start to decrease as well. So let's start up in the Polk County area. Livingston getting in on some heavy downpours, and we've got some lightning showing up here. So really eastern parts of Polk County dealing with quite a bit of heavy rain and a few of those stronger storms impacting your area. Farther south, you will note that we do have more heavy rain, more strong storms. Most of Chambers County escaping this for now, but if you look back towards Atascocita, Aldine, Cloverleaf, Pasadena, and down to the League City area, we've got a lot of heavy rain, and we still have a few strong thunderstorms here. You can see those areas that have been highlighted there indicating what we call special weather statements or strong storm alert. So that means it's not severe storms over Cloverleaf or Pasadena or Atascocita, but it's basically the threat for some stronger storms that could produce 40 to 45 mile per hour winds and some heavy rain and potentially some small hail. Closer look at this area will show you those dark reds and those yellows indicating that very heavy rain right over Channel View, and this is the area that we have that flood advisory for. So right around Galena Park, Channel View, also Deer Park. Watch out for the threat for flooded streets starting to increase as we go into the next few hours. Farther to the south, we've got some shower activity for you in Sugar Land. Things already getting better for you. The heaviest of that rain has pushed off to your east, but notice that we do still have some very heavy downpours down around Liverpool, Danbury, Angleton, and all the way up towards Alvin, Manville, Iowa Colony, and back up towards Pasadena and Pearland. So this is the worst of the weather right now, and the good news is that it is starting to push to the east a little bit quicker. So as I said, over the next 2 to 3 hours, I think we get rid of most of it. But for now, things are a little dicey out there. So make sure to slow things down. You may just want to wait it out at home or at work for a few hours, let this pass. And then I do think there will be some improvements for the evening. Down around Palacia, still getting some decent shower activity, but at least you're getting a bit of a break in Bay City. You need that break because you've had around 5 inches of rainfall over the last 48 hours. So over the last 2 days, several inches of rain. You can see that on this map. Let me go back to that. We do have our 2-day rainfall showing right around 5 inches of rain for you in Bay City, 5.5 inches of rain showing up right around Rosenberg, and El Campo 5 to 5.5 inches. So these are some of the areas where we have that bullseye for some of the heaviest rain. Only around 1 to 2 inches for parts of Houston, but you could see those 4, 5, 5.5 inch rain totals southwest of Houston. That's why that area was under that flood watch, but right now that flood watch has been canceled, but we are still dealing with an elevated risk for some flooding issues. So generally over the last 2 days, anywhere from around 1 to 5.5 inches of rain for the area, and we've got more falling out there at this point. How much more rain are we going to get? Well, our forecast rain through tonight showing anywhere from about 1 to 2 inches with heavier totals down around the coast. So that means after this afternoon's rain, some of you could end up with 7, possibly 8 inches of rain. So it has certainly been a wet last couple of days. It is still a Fox 26 storm alert day. Our biggest risk will be that medium chance for some flooded streets out there, some flooding issues, low chance for that hail, severe winds around 60 miles per hour, and that low tornado risk, especially up around Livingston and over into Liberty County. In fact, you can see that highest threat for severe weather off to our east of Houston into parts of Liberty County, Chambers County, and of course we got that tornado watch impacting a few of our eastern counties, specifically Polk and Liberty through 7 p.m. But Houston and Galveston remain in that low possible 1 out of 5 severe risk. And notice the yellow area indicates where we have that higher threat for flooding through tonight. That does include Houston as well. So we've still got several things to monitor, but here's the good news. Let me walk you through our Futurecast hour by hour. Notice around 4:45, 5 p.m., still dealing with some heavy downpours close to Houston, but as we get closer to the evening hours, 7, 8 o'clock, I think the majority of this will start to move east. I can't rule out some additional showers popping up behind this, but I don't think it's going to be as crazy as what we're seeing out there right now. So that's great news. Astros are back in action this evening. We got the UFL home opener with the Houston Roughnecks and the St. Louis Battlehawks. So we've got a lot going on. And of course, we got the golf tournament, the Texas Children's Houston Open going on, plus a plethora of other things. So we need to get this rain in and out, and I do think that will happen. So notice around 8 p.m., things looking a lot quieter across the Houston area. So let's hope this Futurecast model pans out and it is correct. And I think it will be. I think things will definitely kind of simmer down as we get through the next couple of hours. Things should improve. How about the weekend? Well, rain chances go down drastically. We were definitely thinking rain was going to be likely for today, especially during the afternoon and evening. Our best shot for rain this weekend will be early Saturday morning, and then those rain chances all the way down to 10 to 20% for the rest of the weekend, and only a 10% rain chance for Monday. So let's talk about some of those big events that I just mentioned. We got the Mets at the Astros, second game in this series. Of course, yesterday we had the big opening game for Astros opening day, and they were able to pull off the big win. For tonight, we've got game 2 in this series. Mets still in town. First pitch around 7:10. Temps in the low 70s. Yes, there could still be a few showers and storms around, but overall, I think the threat for the really heavy rain will be going down throughout the game. So by the time you're walking out of Daikin Park, things should be looking a lot better weather-wise outside. Texas Children's Houston Open, 2 more rounds of golf left in this, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, and temperatures will start to heat up as rain chances go down, and that humidity will pick up as well. So 84 to 85 degrees, but at least the golf course will be drying out after rounds of heavy rain over the last few days, probably causing some impacts and some delays out there. All right, once again, the Houston Roughnecks right here on Fox 26 this evening. Kickoff 7 p.m. at TDECU Stadium. Weather hopefully improving by then. There will still be a chance for some scattered showers and storms between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. But I think the rain will likely be a little less widespread as we go through the game, and temperatures near 70 degrees. Finally, we've got the Sugarland Space Cowboys. They are playing as well right around 7:05 p.m. at Constellation Field. So much going on. Great games, great activities to get the weekend started. A lot going on, but the weather, like I said, kind of crazy right now, but should improve as we go through the evening. So for this game, middle 70s for that 7 p.m. or 7:05 p.m. kickoff. And yes, a few showers and rumbles of thunder may stick around, but overall, I think things will be improving quite a bit. So at this point, we are still closely monitoring the radar. I think we're getting the worst of that heavy rain right now. No severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings, but keep in mind that we do still have that flood advisory for east and east central portions of Harris County. So over around Deer Park, Galena Park, Channelview, make sure to watch out for any flooded streets that could start to develop. Really, you need to be alert for the entire area. I think by 6, 7 o'clock, most of that heavy rain will be gone. And yes, there will still be a few showers, but there will be some improvements for your Friday night plans. As always, I'll continue to monitor the weather. Make sure to check out our newscast at 5 p.m. to get the latest on what's happening with this weather in and around H-Town, and of course, an update on your weekend weather and beyond. For now, though, I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye for now, but of course, keep in mind, if we do get any warnings or any other alerts, we'll try to hop back on and give you more updates. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade. Have a great evening.